Hey Selena, we're back with another video recipe installment, and this time we're making one of our weeknight favorites, is just burgers. So a couple things, we're gonna make kind of like a steakhouse style burger, and you don't necessarily need to put the additional ingredients in. You can just use the beef and salt, and that's fine too. But adding egg and breadcrumbs, called a binder, but basically it helps the burger stick together, and sometimes the burger meat as it's ground maybe doesn't have enough fat in it. I always use 80-20, 80% meat, 20% fat, because it makes the best flavor. And so if the meat is dry, it won't stick very well, and so that's another reason to add the egg and the breadcrumb together. So I am going to, how do I flip this camera around now? Does that do it? No. Okay, I couldn't remember which app does which thing, but apparently I can't flip it around using the app. So we've got our burger meat. This is the Costco burger meat. This is 1 1/4 pound, and I'm just gonna dry off the little bit of moisture that's there, and then throw that in the bowl here. We're way too close. Let me back up the camera here for a second. So my ratio of salt for every, we did this in the other video for the bolognese, is for every pound of meat, I use 1.5 teaspoons of salt, and that is the diamond kosher salt, which if you're using Morton, I think it's a little bigger flakes, so you have to use a bit more. But that is roughly, so for this 1 1/4 pounds, I use 2 teaspoons. So what I'm gonna do to start is I'm just gonna get that salt, sprinkle it around, and then apparently didn't grab a fork. And so I'm just gonna mash that up and stir it. So just give me a sec. So basically this is the first thing I wanna get done, because I just want the meat to start to salt and mix in together. So you can see how the meat looks there. Like, it will bind together and make a burger fine, but the egg and the breadcrumb are gonna give us just a little bit extra. So I'm gonna mix that in right now. Here's what I end up doing is, I'm just gonna, you can beat this egg to start, and it makes it a little, I guess, less messy or easier. But I'm just gonna crack that egg in, break it up, and I'm gonna beat it right there in place on top of the meat. And then as soon as that gets it, the yolk and the white get mixed together, I'm just gonna keep stirring that with my fork until the egg is all incorporated in. And now we're gonna have a pretty wet wet meat mixture with that addition of the egg. Sometimes you can add a bit of milk as well, or you soak breadcrumbs in milk, and that helps with the egg for a filler. But I want to balance how much moisture I've got in there. So I'm gonna add, I forgot, I usually throw a bit of garlic powder. You can throw onion powder if you want as well. That's really the only other seasoning I put in. And just kind of a little bit on the top. And then same goes with the breadcrumbs. I'm gonna sprinkle those kind of all around the top. You can use these type of breadcrumbs, or I've used panko before as well. So I'm gonna continue to mix that. That's all mixed in. It's still a little damp, so you don't really want to see any visible signs of moisture. So just add the breadcrumbs as you go, keep mixing. And there we go. Kind of see the consistent, so you know, if you stir it or try to smush it, it doesn't break into chunks. It holds and sticks together. So I'm just going to leave that and let it sit for, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. Be back in a sec. Okay, I'm back after waiting a little bit. So here is my little, I don't know, it's a bit of a hack that I've created for doing the burgers. So I try to pat the meat down so it's kind of like a symmetrical shape in the bottom. And then I'm gonna do 4 burgers. So I'm basically just gonna take the fork and poke the fork all the way down through and divide that into 4 equal parts or 4 quarters. And then try to separate that a little bit. And this will give me some rough guideline for how big the meat, the balls are going to start before I shape them into patties here. So one other thing is this this exact thing with the egg and the breadcrumbs. This is the exact same thing you can do Italian meatballs with, and you might just throw some Italian seasoning in, basil and oregano and thyme. So now I've got these somewhat equal parts, and I mean, you can do this with your hands and just kind of continue to wet, because after a while your hands get gummy. But what I like to do is take just one of these little quart-sized bags, Ziploc bag, and then I'm able to kind of press this down and get my burger shape really solid in here without getting, like, the fat will accumulate on your hands, and then you just don't have to scrub your hands as much. One of the big things is I always try to make sure that the middle, because burgers will kind of puff up, and so I make sure that the middle is thinner than the outside pieces. And then I want to make sure the outside are all sticking together well. And I just separate these from the bag. So I'm still getting my hands a little bit. And then I've always put this, like, just plastic wrap on a plate. And that way I can just throw the plastic wrap away as soon as I put the burgers on the grill. So that's basically my burger shaping technique with the plastic bag. I'll come back when I'm done and we're ready to grill. Okay, so I've got all the burger patties and these big slices of cheese, Havarti cheese. I have to do like that because the Havarti melts so much. So if you have a big slice and puts over there, like half of it ends up in the grill. So if I do it like that, it melts and covers the burger quite well. So I've got the grill cranking on high. And it's raining. Is it raining still? No, it's raining a bit. I'll put this back. Let me see. Done. Move this out of the rain. And I don't bother greasing the grill or anything, mainly because there's so much fat on these burgers that you just have to cook them for long enough. Like if I was to try to move those now, they would be stuck. But if I leave them till the grill's hot enough and they get the grill marks, then they'll lift easily. Okay, my pause didn't work. Okay, so we're in there now, and you can kind of see there's a bit of moisture that's like popping up on this side of the burger. That means these should be cooked pretty well on this side. Look at those grill marks, and they're gonna flare up when that juice hits. Sometimes I do have to scrape a little bit, just using the back side of the spatula. So as soon as the cheese melts, these are going to be ready. Usually when that, I generally don't even use a thermometer on these things anymore. So I'm going to throw this cheese on. Havarti melts super quick. So, and then as you throw my buttered buns on to toast a little bit. I know you don't like yours exactly that way, so yours will go away from the flame a little bit. So that should just be a few minutes now with the cover down to get back to done burgers. Okay, back at it, and these things are done. I probably burnt my bun, which is par for the course. I don't know, that's perfect for me. Make sure that one doesn't fall off. That's perfect for you. And then you can see how much that cheese spread out, and I'm still getting drips down there, so I'll get these off of here. And there we go. Bring those in. And I'll just let these sit while we get the rest of things sorted. Just as a check, let's go middle of these things. That's 160, 165, so that one's a little more well done. 160, 155. So that's kind of in that medium well range. And the other thing that the binder does as well is that egg and breadcrumbs make it a little bit more moist. So even if it's a little bit more well done, I know we're in the US, but in Canada we like our burgers medium well. So. And then I'm lame tonight, and I totally forgot I was gonna do bacon. So bacon should go on our teen burger. But yeah, that's it. Maybe one final video with the finished product. Final video, there's our burger. It's my normal teen burger. I would have the bacon and the tomato on it, but I have the pickles and the other stuff. So, bon appetit, guten appetit, tschüss.